Yeah, I always carry an inherent conflict because I'm probably more enthusiastic about markets when they're weaker than when they're stronger. That said, the paralysis I was referring to earlier that we've had in Spain and particularly in Portugal over the last few years isn't good for a market. No one can operate in that type of environment. I think one of the hallmarks of investing in Spain will be that it remains better suited to people or investors with longer term horizons. If you look at those investors who took positions in Spain over the last 5 years, almost without exception, all of them are still holding their investments. Now that's not true of any Northern European real estate market. Most of now, selling into, handsome returns for their endeavour of backing a market when it was at its weakest. That's a situation I don't see changing. I think you've got to be willing to underwrite longer-term commitment and not expect to just speculate over the short term.
However, just to create a bit of debate, it is interesting. I agree because I would say this is like the 90% perception of most of investors. But we've seen very recently two kind of big high-speed rotation on assets, one in Serrano, another one in Castellana, and both of them have offered 30-40% return in probably 6 months' time. So I think there is, in parallel with that, which I think is the general trend, there are some people that are betting on a higher risk strategy, which is basically compression of yields, especially on the kind of more core or more kind of defensive assets, which for some reason, have been still at some premium in terms of yield. And with the pressure that we are seeing in continental Europe for these kind of assets, we can still see some spread of compression in very, very limited time, which, if you get compression of 50 basis points, on an asset, well, it's a big capital gain, no? If you do it in 6 months or that's a bit more speculative, but I think it offers opportunities for some investors in the shorter term.
Certainly. I just think it will be more the exception rather than the rule.
I agree.